Talk about that right there, the transition from a kid having to reinvent himself from a physical standpoint, that decision that he has to make on whether he wants to be the 80% or he wants to be the 10%.
Sure. I mean, it's everything, right? It encompasses your entire day, your entire week, your entire life. And, it's everything from sleep to nutrition to recovery to the 2 hours you're with us to all that. And there's a process and there's a plan for everything, and they have to trust that and follow that. And it takes care of a lot of the issues. Now we have to educate like crazy because, a lot of guys don't know good sleep hygiene. They don't understand. They maybe never seen a lacrosse ball or a foam roller. They may not understand what, the expectation is when we're talking about effort, right? Like if I ask you to give me everything you have, your idea of everything you have is going to be completely different than what my idea of everything you have is typically. And my staff and myself, like that's part of our job is to, at the end of the day, it's to have athletes do more than they thought they could to gain confidence and then do it again. Right. I always use like the Grand Canyon or a cliff as a reference. Right. So, you're constantly looking at this cliff and you're driving towards it. A young athlete might think they're right up next to that cliff about to fall off, but in reality, they're a mile away. And it's my job to make sure they don't fall off, but get them as close to it as they can to experience that. And then what happens is the cliff gets further away. And then you got to move forward again to get to the cliff. So they're never ready, and they always have to do more than they think. To me, a lot of people, there's a process to everything, right? But if you work as hard as you can, and I'm not specifically talking about one particular thing, but if your work is varied and progressed and it's a process and there's variability within it, there's really no such thing as too much work. It's kind of hard to do, especially when you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, to say like, oh, they're overtraining. Well, probably not, because they're going to get the weekend off, or they're going to get this, they're going to get that, and they're going to recover and they're going to bounce back because they can. So to me, the work that they have to put in is a lot.